Welcome to a new semester, and well, thank you for filling out that My Course information. And in a little bit, I'll talk to you about, what was the real purpose of that assignment, and I'll break down everything for you. So please allow me to share some really interesting and life-changing information with you. And before you get really excited about all the wonderful things we're going to discover in this course, and how you can apply it in your real life situations, I just want to say that it's a real pleasure to be of service to you. And feel free to ask me any questions. I'm available. I have my cell phone number in the syllabus, so you can contact me anytime. Please text me. I respond better with text messages. Also, feel free to watch this video multiple times. Actually, many of my students have mentioned that they really like to watch this video and other videos multiple times because I do give a lot of information in this. So the first lesson, as far as business strategy is concerned, is you should have a goal, and you should go for it. Be passionate about the goal and go for it. Don't think about pleasing other people. Just think about what your goal is and how you can achieve it. So my goal for this course is to make sure that not only you're learning a lot whenever you are with me or doing the assignments, but anytime you see a business application, you'll see how the concepts relate to that. So each and every time you're here and you're doing the assignments, you're learning not only a lot, but you're also looking at all the different ways you can apply the information. So going back to the first lesson that I mentioned is about, to be passionate about something and go for it rather than pleasing other people. So let me give you an example of that is, by the way, this is a few years ago, I got the Best Teacher Award. And this year, I'm again nominated for that. So again, not to brag, but just want to give you some idea. See, we have a simulation that we play at the graduate level. And this simulation is played by more than 50,000 students all over the world, like more than 50 countries over the world, like more than 2,000 colleges all over the world. And take a guess where our students are in terms of global ranking. If you guess number one, you're right. So our students are number one in the world, number one, okay? And again, we are competing with more than 50,000 students all over the world, number one in the world, 9 out of last 11 semesters. And this, like last semester, fall 2019, as well as summer 2019, we had two teams that were number one, tied for the number one spot in the world. So how do we achieve that? How did we achieve that? So I'm going to break down everything and I'll tell you that. So again, going back to this principle of, you should have a goal and just go for the goal rather than trying to please everyone. So let me speak to that for a second. And that is, see, when I first time got the Best Teacher Award, a friend of mine asked me as to, what is it that I do so that students give me great evaluations? Because, part of the Best Teacher Award is student evaluations and other things. So I, began thinking about that. What is it that I do to make sure that, whenever the time comes, you guys give me really good evaluations? And I was thinking, that's not the right way to look at it. The right way to look at it is to really give you some amazing information. So not only you are going to give me really good evaluations when the time comes, whenever the time comes, but you're also thinking about what else can you do or how else can you apply the information? Because in life, you can always take shortcut. Like I could give you great grades, you would love it, but you don't learn much. And then you would give me great evaluations versus I give you some life-changing information, something that you could apply in so many different contexts that you would be like, wow, this is amazing. So, so don't think about pleasing anyone. Think about what it is the best, do the work the best you can. okay? And I'm gonna, like on this PowerPoint, I will talk about, that in detail. And the second thing is, see, I cannot see you. So I can very well make the excuse that, I can't see you, I'll just send you a message. So whenever you cannot do something, do the next best thing. So I cannot see you, so I'm making this video. So let's say you cannot, work out for whatever reason. It's raining outside, or it's too cold, or whatever it is. So at least you can do, you can stretch in the house or do something. Okay. So do the next best thing if you can do it. And let me explain a little bit about how, see, basically, look at it this way. Okay. And by the way, I'll give you a lot of interesting skills in this class, like I call it ninja skills. Actually, some of my past students have called it ninja skills. So I don't really tell you the concepts of the course. I go beyond that. I not only give you the concepts, but I also tell you some techniques how you can be really successful in life. So one of the thing is, how let's say if you said, like really pay attention to what I'm telling you, you're much more likely to get a lot more out of this video than if you were to like, looking here and there and, like you're multitasking doing other things. So number one thing is you need to focus on what's in front of you. So focus, there is the acronym is actually, you'll find these interesting acronyms on the web, is follow one course until successful. FOCUS, follow one course until successful. So number one thing is focus on what's going on and you'll get a lot more out of it. And the number two thing is to be successful in this course as well as in other things in life is to have a system. Again, this is the acronym. I didn't come up with this, but these are freely available on the web. Systems is save yourself time, effort, or you could call it energy, money, and stress. So systems, save yourself time, effort, or energy, money, and stress. Okay, so if you have two things, focus and systems, you would be able to be successful or do something, whatever you're doing, successfully. All right, so number one is you need to be in, like if you pay attention, sit a little closer, you're more likely to do things. By the way, here's a ninja skill I'll give you. Whenever you're talking to someone and you want them to make a decision, and if they are sitting back, it's less likely they will make a decision. But if it's your boss, you can't say to the boss, hey, can you sit upright and pay attention to me? You cannot do that. So what you could do is, here's a trick that you could use, and you have a pen or something that you hand it to the person to look at. So automatically the person will come close to you, because no decision, if a person is sitting like this, they are actually not going to decide in your favor. They're already not thinking about doing it in your favor. They are thinking about doing something else. But when you bring somebody closer to you, so you should have a prop, something that you could hand it. And when they come close to you, that's when you ask them for whatever it is, for a sale, for a raise, promotion, whatever it is, okay? So that's ninja skill for you. That's why I say, watch these videos multiple times, because I do give you good, interesting information. So the other thing, body posture is number one. The second most important thing is the mode you are in. See, most of you have multiple things going on in life. Some of you are parents, some of you work, some of you do volunteer work. You got tons of things going on, okay? So forget all of those, just move those away and just bring up the student mode. Be in the student mode, which is you sit up, closer to the screen and pay attention to this. I'll try to keep my videos short, so this way I can give you good information without, having you to spend too much time on that. Okay, so be in the student mode, bring up the student mode. And the other interesting thing about how to go into student mode instantly is think about a time when you actually learned something really fast or you are enjoying learning things. So that's why you're automatically sucked into what was in front of you and you were getting more and more excited about what you can learn from this. Okay. So let me quickly go into this business strategy thing. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. By the way, whenever you make your videos, you'll be making some videos for this class. Make sure you have them just like the way my video is over here. So I should be able to see you. And sorry about the light over there in the back. That's actually the Brooklyn Bridge or the Williamsboro Bridge in New York. I used to stay there for some time. So let me see if I can block that somehow. Okay. All right, so I guess it's a little bit better. Anyway, so by the way, whenever you see something happening, don't let it slide, address it and then try to fix it, okay, like I just did now. All right, so let's go to business strategy. And I want to give you a brief overview of this course is. So in this video, I'm just giving you an introduction, brief overview, and then we'll go on to the syllabus. That will be another video, and there will be more videos about other assignments. All right, so let's do this. So the future, see, strategy is all about future. It's about what you're going to do in the future. It's about what it is that excites you and how you're going to go about getting that. So McKinsey Global Institute has been doing lots of research on AI. And this is actually a bit dated, but still relevant. They're saying by 2030, these many people could lose their jobs. So this is the negative aspect of AI. That's the future. But if you look at the other side, the GDP could increase by $16 trillion. Okay. So by some estimates, 40 to 50% of the people are going to lose their jobs. But the people that have their job, excuse me, so sorry about that, excuse me, could easily see their salary go up 2, 3, 5 times even more. So this is the downside. 40 to 50% of those people could lose their job, and those who have the job, their salaries will go up. And this is a survey by GMAC, you probably have heard of this. 70% of employers plan to hire business school graduates who have a knowledge of AI. And many of you are graduating soon, or so you should know about AI. Okay, that's why I'm putting a lot of heavy emphasis on AI in this course. So the real question is, are you ready for these challenges? Are you going to be a casualty of AI, meaning are you going to be the ones that lose their job? Or are you going to be the ones that take advantage of the opportunities that AI presents? Okay. So let me just briefly talk to you about what strategy is. Basically, strategy is really going from point A to point B. Point A is CS, which is current situation. DS is desired situation, or you want to call it goal. Okay. So how do you go from point A to point B? The arrow right here, I'm calling the top of the arrow. How do you get from point A to point B? Mind you, A is where you are, okay? And B is where you want to go, the desired thing. What is it that you desire, okay? So how you get the plan, the arrow is strategy. And underneath I have written L, which is leadership. The person that takes you from point A to point B, the leader, okay? That's why leadership is important. Because you can have a plan to go from A to B, but if you don't have a good leader, a good leader that can take you there, then it's not going to happen. At the same time, you also need to have a good strategy. So both strategy and leadership kind of go hand in hand. That's what you need. Okay. And make sure the goal that you have is a win-win-win situation. What do I mean by that? So the win is there's one win for you, and there is one win for people around you, others, and there's another win for society, world at large. So let me explain what I mean by that. So let's say, you just focus on two wins, win you and others, somebody around you. So a bank robber could actually go to a bank and he could collude, or he could have some kind of a partnership with the bank manager, and both of them decide to rob a bank. So it is a win-win situation for both of them, the robber, the person that is robbing the bank, as well as the bank manager. But guess what? It's not good for the people that have put the money in the bank. Okay. So that's why I'm saying win-win-win, meaning it should be a win for you, win for people that you work with, and people around you, as well as society and everybody else. Okay, so that's why make sure your goal is a win-win situation. The best way to come up with a goal is a SMART goal. You probably have heard of this. If not, Google it. What does it mean by SMART goal? Okay. So how do you find out your current situation? The way you find out your current situation is you do something called SWOT analysis. That is, strengths and weaknesses will give you where you are, and opportunities and threats will tell you, what's out there and what it is that you should focus on. Okay. So that's about strategy. Now I have mentioned this over here, these four things. Okay. What, why, how, what if, an example. The reason I did that is this is how you can think of is you can divide people into these four parts. What people are the type of people that want to know what's going on before they actually buy into whatever is going on. And why is there are people that want to know why to do certain things. And how is there are people that want to know step by step. Okay, I want to know step 1, step 2, step 3. I don't care what it is or why I'm doing it, but they just want to know the steps. You probably know people like that. But why am I telling you this? Because these how people are going to be the most affected by AI. If somebody has to tell you how to do things, step 1, step 2, step 3, it's very likely that that job could get automated. So you want to quickly move out of that. And in the society, especially in Western society, there are tons of people that are what people and why people, which is an awesome thing. But at the same time, there are lots of people that are in the how quadrant as well. And then there are these what if people. What if people are the ones that want to know, what if this doesn't happen? There are those, you call, some people call them pessimistic or negative people. They're always like, what if this happens? What if that happens? So these people are also good to be around or to have around if you want to find out exceptions to what's going on. So all these are useful. And if you ever are making a presentation and you're running short on time, make sure you address at least what and why. How is, you could always say, oh, I'll send you an email and I'll tell you the process, how you can do it, or I'll create a video for that. And what if people are also patient? What and why people are not that patient? They want to know what's going on or why they need to do something before they do something. And how people and what if people are very patient, so you could always give them the steps later on. But by the way, the reason I mentioned this is how do you communicate? This is the strategy of communication. So always start off with what and why. You could reverse the sequence, but people need to know why are they doing something or what is it that they need to do, okay? So let's move on to the next part, which is the leadership part. And as I mentioned, about the leadership, which is the other aspect. See, the bottom of the arrow is leadership, okay? And by the way, we're gonna come to this concept later on too. So this is, I'm just giving an overview. leadership. And this is actually an important thing. This is a model, by the way. I came up with this, and I'm still waiting to get Nobel Prize for this. Just kidding, by the way. But this is an important way to look at the world. So you, Y is you, O is others, P is purpose, your purpose, why you're doing this, and the situation you are in. By the way, this is a secret formula that I came up with, which is Y plus P, which is you plus purpose, is 90%. And somebody also mentioned this is like life is what 90% of how you react to it, and only 10% of what happens to you. Okay. Um, so why do I say that? You need to be a leader in your own life. Okay. If you listen to yourself, then people are more likely to listen to you. Okay. So make sure you come up with good habits and good things and associate yourself with good people that you will be able to achieve the goals in your life. Okay. And of course, the reason I say 10% is others, there are people around you or the situation. Not everything is going to go your way. So what do? You don't have to stick around. If there are people that are pulling your legs or not supporting where you're going, then you don't have to be around them. Or there's a situation where the boss is terrible, or the company is not going through some trouble. You don't have to be in that. So take control of things and move to better things where you can achieve your goals. And I'll give you an example. Sam Walton, I don't know how many of you have heard of him, but he's the guy who started Walmart, and one time he was the richest man in the world. And before he became the richest man, he had the habit of looking around, going to different places and looking at things and finding what is good in that and ignoring everything else. Okay. So him and let's call his manager, store manager, Bob, they both go to a store, and he tells his manager, Bob, hey, look at the store, and well, meet me back at the hotel after you're done with it. So Bob goes in, he's there for 10, 15 minutes. He was back at the hotel. Sam is in that place for more than 3, 4 hours. So Sam asked Bob, hey, what do you think of that store? Bob said, I didn't even want to go in that store. Even before entering the store smelled. The floors were sticky, the produce was rotting, there were a lot of things that were wrong with the store. Products didn't have labels. There were lots of shelves that were empty. I don't even know why the store is in business. It was a totally terrible place. But then he turns around to Sam and he says, Sam, but you were there for 3 to 4 hours. What happened? Sam, again, this is look at this. This is the attitude of the winner. Okay. So Sam says, as soon as I step into the store, I noticed that the tiles in the store were really sturdy. So I picked up one of the tiles, went to the corner of the store, picked up one of the tiles, noted down the name of the manufacturer. Then as I was walking around, I noticed that the distance between the shelves were pretty good. So I took out my tape measure, measured it. Okay. And then Sam is going on and on. He says about the display they had, about the jewelry that was good. These aisles, the shelves were very sturdy. So Sam is going on and on about what was good over there. So he ignored everything else and just focused on whatever is good in front of him. So if you were to, and look at this, Sam became the richest man in the world, and Bob probably died on Social Security. So the point is, good, bad, ugly, everything is happening at the same time in the world. But the results you get is actually based on whatever your focus is. It's again, I'll give you another example. Look at this air right now. We got all the TV channels going on right now in this air, but you don't see any of them. But if you put a TV in a receiver, you'll see them. So if, let's say, channel 1 is news, channel 2 is sport, channel 3 is cartoon, channel 4 is romantic movies, channel 5 is, say, whatever, nature or anything. So all these different channels, there are hundreds of channels. you get to pick what you want, right? You get to see what you want to see, right? And sometimes, the binge watching is sometimes what's in front of you is so amazing and so interesting. You probably watch it multiple times, or you're just watch it more and more, and you want to see what else is there, right? And how else this is going to unfold. Okay. So look at this. All these channels are there, but what you see is based on what you pick. So make sure you pick the right thing. If you choose the right thing, good things are going to happen. There are some studies that say that your income is the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So if you start hanging out with better people, your income will be better as well. And the other thing, the last thing that I want to leave you off with is other person. And some people argue that it was not Edison that came up with the light bulb. Okay, let's just focus on the other thing, which is, feedback, not failure. So, some people say that Edison looked at 10,000 things before he came up with the light bulb. So let's just assume that that's true. So Edison wasn't looking for, most of us would give up after 3, 5, 10 tries. He tried 10,000 times. If he looked at everything that he did as a failure, then we probably wouldn't even be talking, because light bulbs wouldn't be there, something else would be there. There wouldn't be any electricity. But anyway, so the other thing that you may want to focus on is think about everything as a feedback, not as failures. It didn't work out. All right. Okay. I know that it doesn't work this way. So let me find out how else we can make it work. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. And these are the references for this. And let me quickly recap. So do the things because they are right, because you want to do them, not because you want to please someone. So do the right things. And second thing is be in the appropriate receiving mode. So like as I talked about, student mode. So whenever you're watching this video or whenever you're learning something, you bring up the student mode. Forget about the parent mode or employee mode or any other mode. Just forget about those modes. Just bring up the student mode. And the way you do that is think about a time. You may even want to close your eyes and think about a time when you actually were really, really excited about learning something. And then through that mindset, look at what's happening, and you will be much more excited about what you're learning. And I told you the ninja skill about handing somebody a pen. Watch that again. And have systems in place to make your day-to-day life much more productive, as well as focus on one thing until you're successful. All right. And as I mentioned, basically strategy is how you go from point A to point B. Leadership is the person that takes it there. All right. So thank you for watching this video. I'll be creating some more videos about the syllabus and about the other papers. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.